Welcome back, everybody, to the Baltimore Orioles franchise here on MLB The Show 21. As you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, today's episode is a very special one. But before that, I do want to talk about the context leading up to this game against the Astros. So we recently finished the month of August here in the 2023 season, and we are playing great baseball. After being a bottom dweller in the American League the past two seasons, our Orioles now have a comfortable lead for first place in the AL East with 1 month of the season left to go. Now that we are in the month of September, we do need to have 28 players on our active MLB roster, so we are going to call up a few guys from AAA, including Aristides Aquino, who's had a fine season hitting .246, OPS above 800, hitting for great power with 27 home runs. He's mainly going to be a bench bat for the rest of the season, and then we also made some moves within the bullpen. Sir Anthony Dominguez has had an on and off season in the majors in AAA, but he's pitched well in the minors, and he has pitched a little bit better in his last major league stint, so I do think he's earned the opportunity to come back up. And we're also going to call up Felix Rosa, who's having a nice season in AAA, played a little bit in the majors last year. And replacing his spot in AAA will be Matthias Hundertwasser, who will be getting sent back down. Hundertwasser's major league career started off on fire, but he came back down to earth very quickly, and I want to see what Felix Rosa can do. So with those moves, you may notice that Heston Kjerstad is not moving back up. He's going to stay on the AAA roster, I guess, for the rest of the season, meaning his time in the big leagues this year is likely over. Kjerstad has struggled since he was sent down to AAA, only hitting .212. He is hitting for good power, 7 home runs and under 100 at bats, OPS above 800. So it's not like he's doing terribly, but I think he should stay the rest of the season in the minors, and then he'll be good to return to the big leagues next year. So as we look at the lineup, the player I really want to talk about is Anthony Rizzo. Since the trade deadline, when we acquired him, he has been on fire. His average has gone up from like the mid-230s up to 258. He hit 8 home runs in the month of August, and he has been such a pleasant addition to our lineup. We needed to make a big move at the deadline. He was our big fish, and he has completely exceeded all expectations. And if he keeps playing like this, he's getting a contract extension this offseason because I can't justify not paying him. Our other trade deadline acquisition, Kenyon Middleton, has been a little bit disappointing. His ERA has gone up since he's gotten here, but overall, I think the team is in a good spot. So today's game against the Astros is very significant, not just because they're really good like us, but it's going to be at the Field of Dreams in Iowa. MLB The Show recently added the Field of Dreams to the game not too long ago, since there was an actual game there a few days back between the Yankees and the White Sox. So I figured it was appropriate that we played here in this series, and I wanted it to be against a good team. So that's why I specifically picked this matchup against the Astros in what could possibly be a playoff preview. It would not shock me to see these two teams faced off in the first round of the postseason this upcoming year. Both teams have all of their main starters in, as this is a pretty significant game. It's on national television, and both teams have the world's eyes on them today. Forrest Whitley, the former top prospect on the bump for Houston, a player the Orioles nearly traded for a few seasons back. He's been pretty mediocre this season, not terrible, but I wouldn't say he's really been all that good either. First batter of the game is the All-Star, Adley Rutschman, leading things off, and Rutschman hits that one pretty high and deep into right field. Back at the track at the wall, it is gone! Well, that's how you start a ball game off. Solo shot for Adley Rutschman. His 19th of the year. This is definitely a hitters-friendly ballpark, so do not be surprised to see a lot of home runs today, which I think will make this game especially fun. Rutschman with his 19th home run of the season, and of course that ball went straight into the cornfield. Take another look at that beautiful swing from Rutschman, who, coming off his first All-Star campaign last year, has played even better in his third season in the big leagues. That would bring up Louis St. John, who belts that one past the legs of Forrest Whitley for a single into center, and the 19-year-old rookie will get aboard with one out. So far, so good for Baltimore's lineup, and that'll bring up the big trade deadline acquisition, Anthony Rizzo. 2-1 pitch from Whitley. Rizzo clobbers this one into right center field. Back at the track into the cornfield. 2-run blast for Rizzo. His 22nd of the season and his 9th as a Baltimore Oriole. Keep in mind, all 9 have been within the past month. And it is now 3-0. A hot start here for Baltimore's offense, already with 2 home runs here in the first inning. Some early run support here for Max Meyer, who is getting the start for Baltimore. His numbers have not been great. He's had a pretty down season this year. High expectations entering the season for Meyer. And it's definitely fair to say he's been one of the few disappointing players on this roster. Jose Altuve will start the game with a single in the center. All 5'6" of him was needed to muster that hit. That would bring up the next batter, Miles Straw, who goes down on the 100-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball. If nothing else, Max Meyer can throw hard and blow balls right by you. That's what she said. Yordan Alvarez will draw a walk, so the Astros would now get 2 aboard here for Michael Brantley with 2 away. That'll be a fly out into left. Mountcastle makes the play. So, like Baltimore, Houston's offense started off pretty well. They had 2 runners on, but they were unable to drive anybody across, and the score is 3-0 through 1. On to the second, Marco Luciano up at the dish, 3-2, lines this one past the glove of the first baseman, Scott Murray III, and that will be a single into right field for Luciano, who's been pretty steady since his tremendous month of April. Now that'll bring up the Yerminator, Yermin Mercedes, 1-2 pitch. Grounds this one to short. Nova to Altuve. Can the Astros turn 2? They do! 6-4-3 double play. Outstanding defense from the Houston Astro infield, and we will go to the bottom of the second. First batter of the inning will single that one into right field. I believe that was Murray. So the Astros will get 1 aboard with nobody out. So maybe this is the inning where they really start to do something. Next batter, Kyle Tucker, draws a walk. So Meyer has already allowed 2 hits and 2 walks. He's been a little bit shaky so far in this game. When he allows too many base runners, problems generally occur. Fridas Nova will single into right. Run will score, and the Astros will make it 3-1. Nice hit from Nova to put Houston on the board. We'll see if they can do any more of Jose Altuve up as he grounds it to third. Muncy to Miller to Rizzo. 5-4-3 double play. The Orioles do turn 2, but they do allow 1 as the Houston Astros get on the board. It looks like they are going to make this game interesting as it's 3-1. Max Muncy up with 1 away here in the top of the third. He will single into left center. That throw was awfully slow. If Muncy was faster, hell, he could have maybe gone to second. So that'll bring up Louis St. John, who already has a base hit in this game. Going to try for another. And he would be successful in doing so, ripping a single into center past the glove of Fridas Nova. So the Orioles now have 2 runners on, and I think it's fair to say both pitchers really do not look good in this game. As expected, both lineups have been impressive. 2 away for Elliot Ramos, gets fooled on the low slider. Nice pitch from Forrest Whitley to get out of the inning. Both pitchers have definitely shown today that they have great stuff, but they haven't been consistent when it comes to allowing base runners. Bottom 3, Yordan Alvarez crushes it into center field. That one will scrape over the fence into the bullpen for a solo home run. Alvarez's 37th home run of the season. He continues to be one of the most dominant hitters in the majors, and one of the main reasons why the Astros are one of the best teams in baseball is because of him. Alex Bregman now up. Look at that throw it short by Marco Luciano with the backhander, getting the out pretty easily. That one wasn't even close. 1 on, 2 away now. Another great defensive play. That one was lined right at Anthony Rizzo, who makes the grab. So the Astros do get another run, but we did get to see some nice defense. Top of the 4th, Ryan Mountcastle is now up. That one will stay in the ballpark, but it will bounce off the bottom of the wall. Mountcastle will walk into second for a double, and with 1 away, the Orioles now have a runner in scoring position. Mountcastle would then be tagged up to third, as with 2 away, that'll bring up the catcher, Yermin Mercedes, the Yerminator, who has an opportunity to drive in a run. That one is high and quite deep into center. Straw at the track. He does make the play. Forrest Whitley has definitely pitched quite a bit better since the first inning. He has allowed a few too many base runners, but other than that first inning, the Orioles have not seen the scoreboard. Max Muncy with a nice strikeout there on Stubbs to get the first out of the inning. 2 away now for Fridas Nova. Grounds at 1 to third. Nice play by Muncy, and finally a clean inning for Max Meyer. We've been waiting for it. Meyer has been the epitome of inconsistency this season, but it's good to see him getting a nice inning there. Top 5, Adley Rutschman lines this one into right. See you later. Rutschman with his second home run of the game, and Baltimore is back on the board. Rutschman with his 20th home run of the season, and the Orioles will make it a 4-2 lead. The ironic thing about those 2 home runs is that I think in a normal ballpark, both of them probably would have stayed in play. That one was a liner that barely dropped, and his first home run also scraped over the fence. So Rutschman getting the major benefits of playing in a hitters-friendly park. And then the following batter, Max Muncy, also lines it into right. Back-to-back bombs for the Baltimore Orioles. Muncy with his 39th home run of the season as he continues to crush the baseball this season. A very impressive campaign for Muncy, and it will be 5-2. Anthony Rizzo trying to add another one. This one will stay in the field of play, but it looks like it's going to go for a double over the head of Straw. So the Orioles lineup is back to dominance. They have 2 home runs in this inning and now an extra base hit. And because of that, the Astros will make a pitching change. Forrest Whitley's day is going to be done, and it'll be Mad Max Scherzer entering out of a bullpen. He is now a lone reliever for the Astros with his advanced stage, but he's still playing at a pretty high level. Elliot Ramos, his first batter, will launch it into right. So clearly, Forrest Whitley was not the issue. It's just that Baltimore is launching just bombs today. Elliot Ramos with his 25th of the year. The Orioles now have 5 home runs in this game, and it is 7-2. Max Meyer is still in for Baltimore, although I imagine his leash is pretty short. Jose Altuve will get an infield single. Nice play at second by Jalen Miller, but Altuve is still safe, his second hit of the ballgame. Miles Straw, the next batter, would draw a walk, and I imagine the Orioles are probably going to make a pitching change here as well. Max Meyer's day is done through 4. He did not have a great outing, but I guess he's pitched better than Houston has. Felix Rosa will make his first Major League appearance of the season. He kind of struggled in 43 games in the bigs last year, but in AAA he has been very impressive, sub-3 ERA, and his whip was right at 1. Yordan Alvarez will single into right. Altuve will score. So not a great start for Felix Rosa as he allows a hit and a run. And the Houston Astros will cut the lead a little bit. It's now 7-3. Alex Bregman will fly this one out to right. Ramos will make the grab. However, Straw will tag up via the sacrifice fly. And the Astros will cut the lead a little bit more as it is now 7-4. So both teams making a major dent here on the scoreboard in this inning. Thankfully for Baltimore, it would come to an end as the next 3 batters would all be out. There is a Scott Murray flyout to end the inning, and that'll end Felix Rosa's day. He did allow the single, but technically no earned runs against his name because both runs who scored were allowed originally by Max Meyer, so he will be credited with the earned runs rather than Rosa. Max Scherzer is still in the ball game for the Astros here in the 6th. Marco Luciano leading things off. He goes down on a slider. The old man is showing that he still has it. Max Scherzer may be getting up there in age, he may be regressing, but he's still a high-level ball player. 2 away now for Adley Rutschman. Weekly grounds this one to the catcher, who will make the play. That's Garrett Stubbs. Good inning for Max Scherzer, who still clearly has some juice left, and it will remain 7-4. Baltimore will make another pitching change. The trade deadline pickup, Kenyon Middleton, would check into the ball game for Baltimore, his 71st appearance of the season with Seattle and the Orioles. 3.56 ERA, that number has gone up since the trade. So it's definitely fair to say he's been a little bit underwhelming, but he certainly has not been bad by any stretch. Kyle Tucker leads the inning off, grounding that one to Jalen Miller, who makes a nice play deflecting the ball, but it doesn't really matter as Tucker is safe at first. So Houston will start the inning off with a base runner. With 1 away, that'll bring up Freudis Nova, who gets that one in the left for an extra base hit. If Tucker can hustle, he might be able to score. Rounding third, he will safely from first. An RBI double from Freudis Nova, and now it's 7-5. Nova's kind of had a rough season. His average is under 200, but he's had 2 really big hits in this game to drive in runs and bring the lead down to 2. Doesn't look like the Astros are done, however. Jose Altuve gets that one into the left center gap. Nova scores pretty easily. The Astros now cut it to 1. It's now 7-6. Houston with 4 unanswered runs. Inning would come to a close as Yordan Alvarez, who reached base successfully in his first 3 at-bats of the game, would not that time. He grounds out to second. So a rough inning from Middleton. He allows 2, but Baltimore will keep the lead with 3 innings to go in what has been a very exciting game. Leading off the inning for the Orioles is Max Muncy. He got fooled by the curveball. Nasty pitch from Max Scherzer to get the first out of the inning. 2 away now for Anthony Rizzo, veteran facing veteran. Rizzo tried to beat out the shift by grounding that one towards the third base line, and he was almost successful, but Bregman made the play. And other than that Elliot Ramos home run, Max Scherzer has completely shut down the Orioles lineup the past 2+ innings. 7-6 going into the bottom of the 7th. Sir Anthony Dominguez will end his first game back in the majors. I know his numbers are pretty bad, but those were mainly because of his first few appearances of the season. He has pitched a lot better as of recent, and obviously he was doing great in the minors. Alex Bregman opens up the inning with a walk. Slowly but surely, the Astros are continuing to swipe away at Baltimore's momentum, but the Orioles would get a big play here. Luciano to Miller to Rizzo. 6-4-3. Double play. Great defense by the O's to turn 2. And then to finish off the inning, why not show Scott Murray some chin music? 97-mile-an-hour two-seam fastball. Good inning of work for Sir Anthony Dominguez. Orioles up by 1 with 2 innings to go. Top of the 8th, Jalen Miller gets a hanging pitch up in the zone and he capitalizes. I don't know why Max Scherzer did that. That's the sweet spot if you're a hitter. Miller with his 17th home run of the season, continuing his impressive second season in the majors. And the Orioles get back on the board as it's now 8-6. Big home run for Miller. The Orioles lineup needed to get some momentum, and they do there. Austin Pruitt is in for Houston. He's going to try to get out of this 8th inning. 2 away here against Marco Luciano. Swings at a low pitch in the dirt. Grounds it to short. Freitas Nova makes the play. So Pruitt gets out of the inning. Still a pretty successful one for Baltimore as they do drive in a run, courteous from a solo home run by Jalen Miller. On the bottom of the 8th, Edwin Diaz, the All-Star, is in for Baltimore. Still has a sub-2 ERA. Garrett Stubbs breaks his bat there on the weak grounder, but he's going to be safe. Edwin Diaz misses the throw over to first, so that'll be an error. Astros now get a base runner, and now things are starting to get interesting. Freitas Nova draws a walk. 2 on, 1 out. The potential go-ahead run is at the plate. It's Straw who strikes out. Edwin Diaz gets out of the jam, and the score will remain 8-6 with 1 inning of regulation left to go. Top of the 9th, it's the Yerminator, Yermin Mercedes. That one is gone. The Orioles have now hit 7 home runs today. I told you you should expect a lot of home runs, and Baltimore's definitely provided that. Mercedes with his 11th of the year, and the Orioles now have a pretty comfortable lead as it's now 6-9. Nice. Pruitt would be removed from the game for Houston. They would make a pitching change, but first, we got to look at this play into the corn. Blake Taylor is in for the Astros, his 39th appearance of the season. He's been about as average as it can be. He hasn't been bad. He hasn't been good. He's just been average, which I guess is fine for a middle reliever. He would take on Max Muncy here with 1 away. 2-1 pitch, little lefty-on-lefty crime, as that one is hit awfully high. Deep in the left, and it will drop fair. A ground rule double for Muncy. That would normally be an out, but because of the shift, Muncy is now in scoring position. Another lefty-on-lefty crime. This time it's Anthony Rizzo with 2 away. Great diving play by Scott Murray. That probably saved a run, and that'll end the inning. The Orioles do get an extra one, courteous of Yermin Mercedes, and we go to the bottom of the 9th. Taylor Rogers in for his 35th save of the season, but things would not start off too great as Yordan Alvarez will hit his 2nd home run in the game. Alvarez is doing his best to carry the Astro lineup here, his 38th of the season, and Houston brings it within 2 as it's now 9-7. Astros really trying to take a dig into this lead, but Alex Bregman will strike out. Taylor Rogers needed that one, and he got it. Let's go to the following batter, Michael Brantley, who singles into left. Good diving effort by Luciano, but he's unable to make the play. So now the tying run is at the plate. Brantley with a 6-game hitting streak. He's only 50 away from tying Joe DiMaggio's record. One away from Murray. Grounds it to Rizzo, to Luciano. Back to Rizzo, and the ball game is over. The Orioles have won it here at the Field of Dreams by a final score of 9-7. So, as expected, we got a really exciting game between two of the best teams in majors. This is exactly what I could have hoped for. A lot of home runs, a lot of action, and most importantly, a Baltimore Orioles victory. 6 different players for Baltimore hit home runs in this game. Rutschman had 2. Rizzo, Mercedes, Muncy, Miller, and Ramos all had 1. And then the other 3 batters, St. John, Mountcastle, and Luciano all had hits as well. The pitching was fine. Meyer was not great. Kenyon Middleton kind of struggled, but the other guys did pretty good. Houston hit the ball fairly well, too. Yordan Alvarez went deep twice. Forrest Whitley got the loss. He did not pitch all that well. And then the bullpen was pretty blah. So we're going to sim our next 5 games, all of which are in the state of Texas. 2 at Houston, 3 at the Rangers. We did get a couple of injuries during that simulated stretch. Felix Rosa suffered an inflamed hip. He'll be out 1 to 2 weeks. Since we put him on the 10-day injured list, we do have to call somebody else up from AAA, so I decided to bring up Cesar Mara, who's had a pretty solid season in the minors this year. I wanted to call him up earlier. Now he gets his shot. Heston Kjerstad fractured his forearm, out 1 to 2 months, so it looks like Heston Kjerstad's very up-and-down season will come to a close here with an injury. We went 2-3 in that span, split against the Astros, and somehow lost the series against the Rangers. We got shut out twice against Texas. That's pretty embarrassing, but we do have a nice 9.5 game lead over Toronto in the division as we round out the regular season here within the next few episodes. Hope everybody enjoyed the Field of Dreams game. Make sure to like and subscribe if you are new. Peace out.